And I predicted it. And I mean, call me psychic or just a genius and smart. You don't even have to be. I mean, listen, I would love to just be a day on Beverly Hills. I would have ripped that Sutton to shreds. If no one wants to date you and you're so wealthy, something's wrong with you. So I was a good friend to Jackie Goldstein, and look what she did.
Turn it on, cook it up, make it boil, let it soak. Is it hot? Is it cold? What degree? Spill the tea.
Dad, I'm filming my podcast. Guest Margaret Josephs. Okay.
Yay.
Welcome back, tea sippers. Welcome to Tea with V. We're here to sip tea and spill the truth. Today's cup is overflowing, and our guest needs zero introduction, but we're going to give her one anyway.
Thank you.
She's the queen of quick wit, bold fashion, and even bolder business moves. She's got the pigtails from the beginning, powerhouse mindset, and the kind of career that proves you can have it all. Style, substance, and a seat at every table.
Oh,
from
thank you.
Bravo reality to boardroom boss, none other than the iconic, unstoppable, and unapologetic Margaret Josephs.
Aw, thank you. Thank you
Welcome.
for having me, Victoria. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm beyond honored.
Oh,
This is incredible.
I love being with you.
I love being with you.
You're the best.
I want to be with you every day.
I know. We're so bonded.
I'm going to follow you around.
I'm going to follow you around. I want to be with you.
I love you.
Okay.
So we already had an episode before we started, but we'll get into it.
Exactly. I mean, we just are so, like-minded.
And we're just Jersey girls.
I know. Jersey girls, little boss babes,
Yeah.
little glamour pusses.
Yeah.
I know.
Good at everything.
I know.
Also, how do you feel about being a Jersey girl? Like, do you get the stigma from people? Like the snobbiness?
I feel like people are like, you're very Jersey, but I feel like Bergen County girls are a little bit different than other
You're like,
Jersey
you don't
girls.
get it, right?
Yeah, you don't get it. I feel like we're like the upper west
We
side
are.
of New York.
That's why when people say, where are you from? We're like, Bergen County.
Yeah, Bergen County's a little bit different.
It's very
I feel like
different.
than the rest of New Jersey. Not that there's anything wrong with New Jersey, because New Jersey's an amazing state. We have the beaches. We're
Yeah.
close to New York. We have the Four Seasons. I just feel like we're centrally located. We're near an airport. We got the malls. We
There
have
we
no
go.
tax on clothes.
You should be in real estate.
Yes. I mean, no, I could say a lot of great things about New Jersey.
Seriously. Oh my God. You're
Yes.
going to do my videos for the homes.
Oh, for sure. I'm going to come.
Incredible.
And do them.
So, but like before Housewives, I think Jersey Shore gave New Jersey a bad stigma.
Yes, and nothing, and we're not like the Jersey Shore.
No.
And there's beautiful parts of Jersey Shore that are not the boardwalk and the cotton candy and the disgust that I don't like about
trash.
the boardwalk.
Yeah. My girlfriend and I, when we worked in the city, we would always say, like, because she's from New Jersey, like, if you don't get it, we don't want you to get it. Just stay
I agree.
out.
There's so many. The best thing about, I also love the diners of New Jersey.
They
I
don't
didn't
exist
realize-
anymore anywhere else.
I didn't know other states don't have diners. I didn't realize
Disco
it was just
fries.
for us.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think there's only one more in Manhattan. Like, they all went out.
It's not
They all
right.
shut down. Yeah.
Not unacceptable.
We love Jersey.
Yes, we do.
So thank you for kicking off Tea with V. And we're having our fabulous Marge iced coffees in a wine glass.
Yes. The only way to have iced coffee.
Marge made mine. It's extra sweet, so I
Okay.
love it.
Yes.
And I do this at home because of you, I swear. When I saw it, I was like, I have to drink my coffee in a wine glass.
It just makes everything nicer.
Elevated.
I love, and I feel you're the same way.
Yeah.
You make everything an event,
Make it nice.
special.
Yeah.
Yes.
You should.
Yeah, make it feel like a memory. Why do we have to drink out of crappy glasses?
Exactly.
I can't stand it.
Life's
I'm not
too
a paper
short for
plate
crappy
girl.
glasses.
Yeah, life's too short for crappy glasses. Make everything feel
Yeah.
special, and I feel you're the same way.
Walk around your home in a silk robe.
That's what I do. I mean, I'm
Same.
in my robe every day till like 1 o'clock till I
Yeah.
have to leave the house. I'm not going to lie about it.
I love that. I mean, I have my slippers here in the office.
I do too. I steal the hotel. I love the hotel
Me
slippers.
too.
Do you take all the hotel
I
slippers?
do. Oh my God. I have from this year, I have the Colony. I have the
Me
Amman.
too.
I have some good ones.
I have the Colony, Palm Beach.
The pink.
The
so
oh,
cute.
Wow.
We should
really
make our
are.
slipper line.
Yes, we should.
That, Lexi.
Robin
Adrena, write it
slipper.
down.
We need it.
Okay.
We need it.
We need it. Hotel slipper line.
Yes, because I really am.
For
the
fabulous
hotel
girls.
slipper. Yes.
Oh my God. All right. We're on this. Speaking of being a boss lady, let's get into your entrepreneurial life, because beyond Housewives, you started with branding before it was even trendy. So I feel like not enough people realize how much of an actual boss you are, like beyond the television show. You've been building brands before that was even trendy. So let's rewind. And how did it all start?
Well, it's funny because I never knew it was like a brand or anything like that. When I started in business, there was no social media,
Right.
which is shocking because I think a lot of people don't even remember life before social media. I started my company in 1999 at my kitchen table. I had my son. I said there was no stylish storage solutions for toys. I had a fashion background. I went to FIT, and I was always like decoupaging. I was into vintage wallpaper, everything else.
Love.
So with a friend, we started decoupaging buckets from Home Depot, but just it was very shabby chicy.
Yeah,
That was the
incredible.
look then. And we sold a local store in Englewood, and I just took it to a kid's store, and it
Right.
sold out in one day. And they're like, you have to make us.
No
It was
way.
called Cradle and All. I'm still friends with the owners. They were, one's
my
a personal
God.
trainer now, one doesn't work, and they were like, we need more of these. We have to immediately.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it was so crazy. So I put my name on the gift show. And my first show, we did like $100,000 in sales. I was like,
Wow.
I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm getting my buckets
Right.
from Home Depot.
Right.
This, that. But I was always into design and style, and it really blew up from there. And by the time that we were on the O list 9 times,
Wow.
Lexi and I were like, what are we going to do? And one day, I swear, I never even realized I was manifesting, but I remember we were at a trade show in Las Vegas, and I was like, we have to get into licensing. God knows by next year we're going to have to be in licensing. Well, by the next year we were in licensing.
Yeah, you manifested that.
We manifested that.
Yeah.
We didn't even realize it. And our prints and products were on all different things. A licensing agent came to us and said, Margaret, how are you going to sell bigger retailers? You can't manufacture everything. Just license out your brand.
You're like, watch me.
And that's what we did. We licensed out our brand. And the first thing we did was kitchen home textiles and storage. And that led to us being the first female brand in Walmart
incredible.
on iPhone cases, headphones, earbuds, things like that. We were doing $10 million a year there.
Incredible.
Right out of the gate. We had end caps. That was back in 2010, beginning into 2011. And it was a big deal. And that was not happening then.
No.
And then there was a lot of Me Too's and a lot of people coming up the gate. And we always stayed ahead of the trend. And I see things now that are happening that we did so long ago. And I said to Lexi, we were always very ahead of the curve.
How does that feel? Yeah.
I feel sometimes a little sad because I'm just going to say a brand, Stony Clover, which
Okay.
is unbelievable, which I love.
Yeah.
But everything they did, I did in 2010,
Wow.
2011, 2012.
Right.
And we were ahead of it. I called it the personality collection.
Oh, I love
we
that.
had everything that had names on it.
Do you still have your products?
I still have our products. I have all the samples and things like that. But we were so ahead of our time. And it's very interesting. And we just created a brand, Soirée, a mocktail line. And I feel, thank you.
Right here?
Yes.
It's fabulous.
because-
We have it at our events.
Yeah, because I don't drink alcohol. And I feel like we're not ahead. This time we're finally right on time.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Exactly. How do you have the vision to like forecast and predict what's going to be next and staying ahead of it? That's a talent.
I don't know if it's just innate.
Right.
I was always very creative. I think I had a very vivid imagination. It must be ADD. I don't know.
Well, that helps.
I think that's what helps. I am not medicated for it, clearly. I talk a mile a minute. I just, maybe it's my love of travel. Like you have your
Right.
love of travel.
Yeah.
Constantly seeing different things through a different lens.
I mean,
think
that's
than
major.
other people see, and going places and seeing things that stand out and just realizing what's special and seeing things that other people don't see.
I think that's one of my favorite things about travel that not a lot of people understand. Like, it's more than just going on a nice vacation.
Yeah.
You're experiencing different cultures and what other parts of the world are doing that eventually make it their way back or the other way around.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's so special. And I feel like that helps me also with my design style in my home.
Yeah.
I love to see different things that are happening. That's why I know you love Italy so much. That's why I love Italy
Yeah.
so much. And I go there, and it was funny. My son
We belong there.
Yes, I belong. My husband
Yeah.
wants to get a place in Florence. My son went to Italy with his girlfriend. I think it was like 2 years ago. And he goes, now I see.
Yeah.
Why you love all the
Right.
natural stones so much and everything else. At first he thought
where
it
it
was
came from.
Yeah, at first he thought it was overkill, and he goes, now I see what you're doing.
I remember we were on a train. I forget where we were going, but we were passing Calcutta. And I was like, like I had like a heart attack because I like saw it in the flesh. And it's just like, yeah, being in design and obsessed with that world and getting to see where it
Yes.
comes from and where it originated is It's really cool.
Yeah, my favorite thing, which I love what you do, real estate and things like that, and going into people's homes and seeing their style and seeing like the molding. And I love that.
There's some people and you're like, what the hell? You need help. And then there's some and you're just blown away.
Exactly.
Like I could be in here. I could see in this space. Our mutual friend, Martin, I was just at his, Martin Fulton Designs. I was just at his home recently. And that is a home that made me be like, what in the fuck? That's incredible.
I said to Joe, it was funny because when they were looking for a house, Martin would show me a lot of the houses.
Okay.
And there was another house I wanted him to get, which was in West Orange. What is that neighborhood?
I know what you're talking
Llewellyn,
about.
something.
I'm not going to.
I think it's called something like that. And there was a magnificent home. And then they showed me.
The newer development?
No, it's an old development.
Okay.
That's a historical development. And the oranges. I can't think. It's called Llewellyn something.
Okay.
And it was a great house. And he really wanted that house. And then they showed me this house, the interior of it. I was like, this house is sick. So you got to get this house. No, but I was like talking to them.
The bar?
And Ahmed. It's amazing.
Oh, I love Ahmed, by the way.
I love
the bar. So we did a video, so it'll come out. But the previous owners took a bar that they met at or fell in love, whatever, that was closing down in Paris, and dismantled it and flew it. You didn't know this? Flew it out from Paris to the home, and so the actual Parisian bar is the bar in his home.
And it's funny because a lot of people couldn't live in that. Like,
you have to be it's very specific.
And it's very designed. Joe and I loved it. We went over there, Joe, myself, and my mother. I was like, I would move to this house in 2 seconds. It is so I would dream fabulous.
To live in it. Yeah.
And I really loved it.
You have to have like that eclectic or eccentric creative taste.
Yeah, it's great.
It's not your typical like modern.
I love it. Listen, the house doesn't have high ceilings.
Right.
But it feels vast.
It does.
And it feels great. And the property is fantastic.
Incredible.
I love it.
Choice of wallpaper.
So
much character.
Yes.
So you have beyond the creative part, you also have the business savvy part, which is why not only did you have so many businesses, but successful ones. You created Macbeth Collection from scratch. What was that aha moment when you were like, wow, I'm an entrepreneur?
I think when I saw that so many people loved it and I was getting so many orders and we couldn't keep up with things. And I don't know. I knew that I was an entrepreneur because I knew, I'm on the O list. We're in so many publications. Everyone loves it. Our booth was so big at the gift shows.
At Javits.
At Javits. We were at the Pier originally, which I love being at the Pier because the cooler brands were always at the Pier. And we had, 4 booths. And I had a team setting up, even though Lexi and I were always merchandising and doing everything. I was like, wow, we're an entrepreneur. And, our booth was always packed and things like that. But, I never felt like, oh, we made it. I think you have, always thinking, is it enough? What's the next thing? What's the next thing? What's the next thing?
That's what's in all successful people. I don't think you ever get to a point where you're like,
oh, I made it.
I'm good.
Yes.
I'll tap out now.
Yes. I never felt like, even though we were doing unbelievably well, and even when I was in licensing and I was doing amazing and I had a lot more money, truthfully, than I do now until I had one setback. I never felt like, oh my God, I'm doing unbelievable. I just never felt that way.
You just kept going.
I just kept going.
That's the key.
Yes.
Okay, so running a business is a full-time job, obviously, but how are you juggling from like filming to real life to your marriage, your kids, your friendships, like everything? How does that work? Like, what's your day-to-day really like?
Chaos.
Yeah.
My day-to-day is chaos. And, and I've said this before, Victoria, you can have it all, but not at the same time.
I completely agree with that. There's always going to be one area that's a little bit thriving more than the other at some point.
And, I've said this numerous times. When my kids were younger, my son was younger, and a lot of people don't realize, how I don't know that I have a biological son.
Yeah, why don't people know
28. I think because I kept it very private off the show.
Which is smart.
My other kids are older. My oldest stepson just turned 50 the other day, which is crazy. And I'm 58, because my ex-husband was 20 years older than me. So the age ranges from 28 all the way up to 50.
Yeah.
It's, I made sure I was on every school trip and I did everything else. And I did my schedule around that. But there was times I was away for 2 weeks at a time. But I had the luxury that my ex-husband, he also worked, we worked for ourselves.
But you didn't miss a beat.
But I didn't miss the special things.
Yeah.
But I did miss the little things. Yes.
Right.
Did I miss like a lot of breakfasts in the
Right.
morning? Yes, of course I did, because
Right.
I was working like an animal. So you can't have it all at the same time. Now I do have the luxury of doing a lot of stuff for myself. But when I am filming, do I miss like my best friends and my girlfriends, a lot of things, my everyday friendships,
Like your inner circle.
my inner circle things. I miss stuff. And then sometimes they forget to invite me to something. And I'm like, guys,
Yeah.
they're like, oh, we
yeah.
don't think you want to come. You do so many fancy things. Or
Right.
this was little, or we thought you were busy. And I'm like, no, you always have to still invite
Yeah,
me, you know?
yeah.
And then you do miss out on those little things. And I feel sad about that, you
Yeah.
know? And then I always have to remind them, I'm like, you better still include me.
Right. Like I still want to come.
Yeah, I still want to come, and
eat
I still
at
have to be
Hole
on
in the
top
Wall
of
in
mine.
Jersey.
Yes, exactly.
Agreed. I feel like not that I'm doing fancy things, but I relate on the sense where I love, like, you know, your book, caviar and tuna fish. Like, I love both ends of the spectrum. I think it's important to have both of those things in your life.
Yes, absolutely. I love to do. Listen, a lot of times I'm out without makeup, and I'm eating at my favorite diner. Like I said, before, Jackson Hole Diner.
Right. Oh,
I could eat there. You know, I eat my breakfast.
I'll meet you
there.
there.
Oh, that's my
Yeah.
in the entire world, the best omelets.
So
my
good.
favorite place in the whole world.
like glam all day, but find me at home in my sweats.
Oh, me too. I love my favorite place in the world. My sofa.
Exactly. My bed. I dream about going there every day.
Yes.
Tell us about Soirée now, since this is your newest and biggest venture.
Yes.
Because it's
I
chic.
put all my money.
Yeah. Okay.
And Lexi's money.
It's curated. It feels like such a natural extension of you. But how did you come up with that? Is it just from I drink mocktails, or what was the why behind it?
I think we are very good at seeing what's going to be happening in the market. But also, it was very personal for me.
Yeah.
I'm on a TV show where people do drink.
That must be hard, like constantly, right?
Well, I think, you know, thankfully a lot of people on Jersey don't drink as much as on other shows.
Right.
I mean, we've had housewives going to jail now for drinking.
Seriously.
And someone I really care about,
Yeah.
actually, Karen
Yeah.
Huger. But with that being said, I always was a party girl, professional
Yeah.
party girl my whole life.
Yeah.
In high school, I was the designated driver. You can ask anybody who went to high school. They'll tell you I never
You just
drank
never
in high
liked
school.
it.
Marge Singer was a cocktailer. It was not attractive,
Right.
and it was scary
Right.
to me as a
Yeah.
little girl. And I was like, I'm never going to be that person in my head. And I think, you know, it could go in either direction. Either you follow in the footsteps or you don't. And I was like, I'm not
Right.
doing it.
Right.
So I never developed a taste for alcohol. I've had drinks, but
Yeah.
then I would get a horrible headache or whatever it was. I was like,
Yeah,
this is not
not
worth it
worth
to
it.
me. So I realized once I got on Housewives, I was like, there has to be something fun that I could drink that tastes elevated.
Right.
That's amazing.
Like,
and I
have
said,
a fancy
yeah,
drink.
and make everything feel special. So I said to Lex, I'm on a show. We have an amazing platform.
Right.
And I'm seeing a trend now. People are doing mushrooms. They're smoking pot. They're not drinking as much. And there's
Right.
people like me
Yeah.
who want to feel included. Why are they guilting people who don't drink?
Exactly.
So that's why we came out with Soirée.
Do you get that a lot, like filming, because it is in a lot of situations where here's your cocktail, wine, whatever. Is it annoying? Are people constantly asking you, why aren't you drinking in the beginning?
In the beginning, I think they're like, you could tell us you have an issue. I go, no, I don't have an issue.
Yeah,
I would tell you if I had an issue. I'm
Right.
TMI Marge.
Yeah.
I will tell you if I had a drinking
Right.
problem. I'd be happy to say, hi, I'm Margaret Josephs.
Right.
I have an issue. I'll tell you about all my other
Recovery.
issues.
Yeah.
Alcohol is not one of them.
So now you have your mocktail and
Yes.
no one can bother you.
Yes, no one could bother me. And I want everybody to feel part of the party. I'm
Right.
not a judgy non-drinker. I mean, people use it as a mixer. It's
I was
an
going to say,
amazing
you
mixer.
can also mix into it.
Yes. Yeah. People mix with vodka, with gin. Joe, you
Which
know.
I might put some vodka in it later because it's Friday.
Yes, exactly.
So you've launched also your brush line, which we have here. They're incredible.
thank you. Yes.
What is the hardest part of like bringing your vision to life? I love these.
I think I'm very picky. And people could say that I'm a nitpicker. I'm annoying.
But that's what makes you
that I'm in
detailed.
licensing.
Yeah.
The guy I work with, Ralph, who has been with me, my first licensee, he's my day one. We would laugh. People would think we're married because we traveled together so much, but he'd say she's too old for me. I said, but you're losing your hair. He is my toughest relationship, but my best relationship in business ever. When he hears this, he'll laugh, but he's made me very successful. And I think the hardest thing is that, you know, you're creating product and your name is on it and you want it perfect. But my brushes are $9.99.
Right.
And I want the best quality out there. And I want a luxury product that's
Right.
affordable to everybody.
Yeah.
Guess what, Victoria? Not everybody has a ton of money.
No.
And, everybody has the right to have something fabulous,
Right.
beautiful, and, attainable.
And even if you do, why spend like $100
No,
on one brush?
you know what? Listen, I don't want to. I hate washing my makeup
Right.
brushes.
I know.
and my sponges,
Right.
and all of those things, and I want them to be fabulous.
Yeah.
So we did a line from Walmart, which is unbelievable. Candy Couture.
Yeah.
We have all different brushes. We want everything unique, and I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
And I think people are just like, oh, she's selling Walmart. You're damn right, I'm selling Walmart. That's where America
Exactly.
shops, and it's fun, and they're great, and it's great quality.
I mean, look at Martha Stewart started in Kmart.
Yes,
Or
and
created
by the way,
that. Yeah.
And I'd be in Kmart in the Hamptons, and guess where everybody was? In the Hamptons,
Buying your
their
brushes.
sheets,
Yeah, buying
and
your
at
sheets.
Kmart,
Exactly.
with Martha Stewart, and that's exactly what it is with Candy Couture. Our line does extremely well at Walmart. That's where I made a ton of money with my first female brand, with my iPhone cases and
Yeah.
everything else, and it's great. And by the way, I don't have to wash my brushes. I use them.
Get a new
You spend
one.
$9.99. It's like
Yeah.
cheaper than Starbucks.
It's easy.
Yes.
Exactly. It's 2 lattes or less.
Yes.
How many brands do you have?
Well, we have Macbeth Collection
Right.
and Candy Couture. We have
And
amazing
Soirée.
and Soirée. And Candy Couture really lays in the Walmarts and the Five Belows.
Right.
And Macbeth Collection by Margaret Josephs, or just straight Margaret Josephs, really is Burlington, Ross, TJ Maxx,
Awesome.
places like that. We have amazing reading glasses, sunglass line that's doing unbelievable
Everything.
at Burlington. The styles are fabulous, so we do that. We have a pet line by Margaret Josephs.
I didn't know
as well.
that.
Yeah, we're just
Wait, we need to get something for Chi-Chi.
Yeah, we have to get something
Okay.
for Chi-Chi that we've done very well with. We have the dog food storage.
Right.
That's also Macbeth Collection.
Yeah.
But I always do fun little taglines. It's the Pup Town chic. It's it's that.
You're like a genius at marketing.
Lexi is the, I always say sometimes she's the real Margaret Joseph. She pushes me, and her and I brainstorm names all day.
I love that.
We're very creative driven, and it's very funny. We have the ADD of design.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Which you
we have to
need,
dial
though.
it back. I know.
It's-
We're a little
that's how a
nuts.
creative mind works.
It does.
Let's talk about Lexi. Speaking
Yes.
of Lexi, your right hand, your best friend.
Yes.
I have a bestie like that, and it's incredibly fun. How is it working with your best friend?
I am so blessed. It's like she's like my sister. I can never
Exactly.
be without. I mean, I could cry about her.
Yeah.
I could never be without her. We're together. My longest standing relationship at this point. We're together almost 18 years.
Yeah.
I'm with her longer than I'm with Joe.
Your first wife.
My first wife, exactly. We're going to die together like
Yeah.
old ladies. And it's
Yeah.
very, very funny because I met her because my girlfriend Polly was like, you got to meet Lexi. She's like the younger, taller, blonder version of you. I said, fine. She goes, she's got to work with you. She was here on holiday from England. She never went home. I was doing a pop-up shop in Grand Central Station, and her boyfriend came to work for me. They ran it. They made me a ton of money. Then they moved into my rent-stabilized apartment in New York City.
Oh my gosh.
She became part of the family. She would travel with me and my ex-husband. We had every holiday together. I was her family,
Your family
here, even
here,
though her
yeah.
aunt is here as well.
Right.
And that was it. We never separated.
Yeah.
The boyfriend left. She dumped him. I left my ex-husband. I was with Joe. We moved together.
You've
we're
been
a
through it
unit.
all together.
I was in the delivery room with her. She's helped me grow my
Right.
business. We're partners in Soirée.
Right.
We just do everything together.
Right.
It's so funny because she lives currently in my guest
Yeah.
house with her son. And the funny part is she goes home at night and then I call her on the phone. She's literally, she lives, 400 feet behind me and we're
I'm
on the
obsessed.
phone. And
That's
Joe's
so
like,
funny.
You're
Are you
with her
kidding?
24 hours a day. First phone call in the morning, last phone call at
I
night.
get it.
But we're so bonded. I mean, we're just so intimately involved.
The-
we
the-
sleep in the same
yeah.
bed on a vacation.
Why would you not?
Well, yeah, I love
Yeah.
her so much. We're just such, my mother adores, we're just,
And
there's
the
no me
importance
without
of
Lexi.
female friendships.
Yes, and it's the bonding and the, we're just so like-minded. Joe's like, oh my God, it's like
the
the
same
two of you
person,
ganging
yeah.
up. Yeah, it's just very funny.
Do people ever think you're in relation? Like, well, I guess everyone knows.
No,
you're
you
like,
know what drives me crazy? Sometimes
Yeah.
people think she's my daughter. I'm like, all right, all right. She's 44. I'm 58. I wasn't 14 when I gave birth. I don't look that old, people. And she just looks so good.
No, you guys look like sisters.
Yeah. I'm like the oldest
People
sister.
think that sometimes, like before I got married, that my best friend and I are lesbians or in a relationship.
Yes.
We accidentally booked a honeymoon trip. So we didn't want to go to the Hamptons or anywhere for Memorial Day weekend a few years ago, like 5-6 years ago. So we booked a trip to Antigua. We didn't know we booked a honeymoon hotel. Like,
Okay, that's hysterical.
Only couples. So we get there and we're like, oh my God, fuck. But it was really nice and like intimate and quiet, which we like more than the party. So we're like, let's just play it up. So we said to them, like, we didn't get the champagne and the rose petals at our breakfast this morning like everyone else. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. They rolled out the red carpet.
That is so funny.
To the point where we were in the pool like later that day and somebody came over with a tray of pink shots for us. And they're like, this is the pink pussy. and we're like, oh my God, right, because we're lesbian.
Yes, I love it.
So feed into it, right?
I know.
Hilarious.
No, we're great. Yeah, but everybody knows that, that about us.
People know.
They don't think that Lexi and I are lesbians. They think Joe's having an affair with Lexi. That's what they used to like to put
better.
on the internet.
Right.
I'm like, okay.
Come on.
But everyone always, and Lexi got so offended. I actually thought it was funny.
Yeah.
She wrote to Bridget Everett.
Yeah.
Do you know who Bridget Everett is? She's a comedian. She's hysterical.
Okay.
But on the show, they paint it that way. She goes, I'm a little nervous. Da,
Yeah.
da, da. And Lexi writes a Bridget Everett. How could you put that out there and watch what happens live? What do you think? I go, Lexi, don't
It's
worry about
funny.
it. It was, yes.
So Lexi is your sister.
Yes.
We're doing all these businesses, right? When I joined my father 2 years ago, I really feel like it's like a startup that we're doing because we left where we were, we partnered with Soirée, and this is pretty much the Adama Group. Like it's our own company within a company. And it is hard to find loyal people, right? So I feel like you've definitely lucked out having someone with you that long.
I'm so lucky.
How do you have the business sense, right? Because you're a trusting woman in the sense of you're so friendly. How do you trust who's coming into your business? Like, what do you look out for?
Oh, I mean, I've been burned. And like we were talking about this earlier. Most people have been with me a long time.
Yeah.
Lexi, 18 years. Lindsay's been with me. Lindsay left. She moved to London, but she was with me a long time, and we're still very close. I've Anthony, who was straight out of Villanova, out of college. He's been with me, I can't even think how many years already. Maybe 6, 7 years. Tom, 7 years. I try and find people, who are like-minded, who have opposite skill set of what I have.
Right.
But who know that they're going to be just like part of the team. I am very familial.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
are.
That I let people in my
connect
house,
with you
they
on
could
that.
sleep over.
Yeah.
We bring them in.
That's how I grew up.
I've been very, very lucky with the people who've worked for me closely in my business.
Yeah.
As opposed to the housewife people who've been around me. I've had friends turn on me.
Yeah.
I've had glam, some
Yeah,
glam
we
drama.
talked about
Not
that.
too, yeah. But I've been very blessed with the people in my business.
Well, I think that's a testament to your character that you have people that stay with you for so long.
Listen, and they've been with me through tough times.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And they've stuck by me.
Yeah. And you
Because
take care of them.
they know we're going to go the distance.
Exactly. And you take care of your people.
Yes.
Okay. So what has been like the most unexpected part of building a product brand?
The most unexpected, the time it takes. I think,
Yeah.
people think there's an
And
overnight
you're like,
success.
go. Yeah.
There's no overnight success.
Right.
It's the highs and lows that you could lose it in a second. I mean, I'm telling you, I've had incredible lows. I've had incredible highs. And that it was ripped out from under me within a matter of a few months. That's why I went on. That's why I went on Housewives. I mean, I had a lawsuit. I mean, literally, my bank account was frozen. Someone filed a lawsuit. It happened so quickly.
Right.
And my attorney, was like, that's not going to happen. And it happened. And I was like, what are you
Insane.
kidding me? It's like, I can't even touch my money. I kept all my money in my business and I couldn't access anything. I couldn't pay anybody.
Oh my gosh.
So I had to file a company bankruptcy just to unfreeze my assets.
Wow.
And that was very upsetting to me. So I know as fast as it comes, it could go.
How did you pull from that, like, emotionally?
A lot of pound cake. No, I have resilience is a very underrated quality in people. I'm extremely resilient, and I was like, this too shall pass. I'll pull through. I'm a hustler. I'm a worker, and I made a lot of money. I'll do it again.
Yeah. Why not?
I'll get through it.
Did it like this.
Listen, I called up the guys who I was fighting with. I mean, we fought for a little while, and I saw them in a restaurant. And I said, we're not going to do this. You're paying so many attorneys, and we started to work together.
Yeah. Oh wow.
And I still work with them.
That's
Is
incredible.
that not crazy?
That
It's a
is-
crazy story.
That is really funny.
I negotiated my way out of it myself because it was not getting done with the attorneys, and I was hemorrhaging money
like,
out of
let me go do your job.
Yeah, I was hemorrhaging money out of every crevice.
Insane. Okay, so to anybody that is, watching or listening, And what is your advice to women who are building a brand on their own, or maybe in silence right now, but haven't launched yet? What is your biggest piece of advice to them?
Just do it. There's no perfect
Don't
time.
think about it.
Everything doesn't have to be perfect.
Right.
You will change numerous times. Don't look at everything like it's a mistake. It's a learning lesson. And I think you just got to go with it. But like, get people on board that have the opposite skill set as well. And I think that's important. You are not good at everything. The most important thing is to know what you're not good at.
Right. And delegate.
Because, no one's great at everything.
And you can't do it all. And you shouldn't.
And you shouldn't do everything.
Because your skills will be better somewhere else.
Yes. And don't be so hard on yourself. Right. But there's no perfect time.
So just do it, Marge says.
So just do it.
Okay, let's do it. All right. So let's spill some Bravo tea now. Are you ready?
Okay.
Yeah, let me sip.
Let's sip.
Okay, Margaret. I need to know, what is it really like filming Housewives?
Go ahead.
Because people think it's glam probably all day, and I feel like that's just not the case.
It's not. Listen, it's heaven and hell. I say it all the time. It's brutal. It's work. It's like anything else. You're authentically to who you are.
Right.
You have to be opinionated, and like anything else in life, it is a job. People forget it's a job, and it's here for entertainment.
Yeah.
But it is on Jersey. It is authentic relationships. I have authentic relationships with these women.
I mean, they're still your friends.
They're still my friends. I talk to Melissa all the time. I talk to Rachel all the time. I talk to Dolores.
Right.
I talk to Jen Fessler, though I'm going to be honest, like I'm annoyed with Jen Fessler right now. The drama you see on the show is the drama
real.
that is off the show. It's real.
And you get through it, though.
But you get through it with your authentic friendships.
Yeah. So I feel, even reality TV in general, especially Housewives, it's hard for some people to be authentic. But I feel like you're not able to not be,
Yes, I feel exactly.
How do you do that? Just
I think I got on the show a little bit older. I think people who work like yourself have a level of authenticity, don't feel like they have to put on a show for someone else. They're not afraid to be judged. I truthfully am $0 given of what someone else thinks of me. I feel like I have the confidence and the wherewithal to know who I am and what matters in life. And I think other people want to be perceived a certain way.
Yeah.
And they're worried about what everyone else thinks, and I'm not.
Like they're worried more about their perception rather than who they are.
Yes, and rather who they are and what everyone's going to think of them. So they'll be one way off camera.
Right.
And say how they really feel, but in the eye of the public, they want to be loved by everybody. Everyone's not going to love you.
Oh my God, I'd roll my eyes all day at that.
Yes, and everybody is not going to love you.
I'm not for everybody.
And I don't want to be for everybody because everybody is not for me.
No, I like that.
Yes.
That's on a that's going on a t-shirt. Do you ever throw out lines that when you're filming, you're like, okay, no, that one's going to be on a t-shirt?
No, what
you have really good one-liners.
When you're saying something that winds up coming out later that everybody loves, you don't even remember saying it.
You're like, oh, I said that?
Yeah, like I've said it numerous times, and I said your husband's in the pool, which everybody repeats.
That's my favorite.
To me. I didn't remember saying it. When Andy called me and he was like, Marge, I watched this clip. Oh my God, it's so funny. You said your husband's in the pool. I'm like, And I didn't remember saying it. And then when I watched it back and everybody was so obsessed with it blew up.
There's like shirts, everything.
Yeah. Hysterical.
My favorite is after when they're like, Danielle said, who threw? And you're like, me and my husband.
Me and my husband. I know.
So good. Back to the confidence part and the not giving a fuck, right? Mm-hmm. I want that advice. So I feel like I'm in the stage where I've cut the toxic, the negativity, the bullshit. But I still care a lot, right? So where do I find the cojones to not give a fuck and to just keep in my lane and going, or, to tune out what everyone's saying?
I think that comes with time, but I think you've developed a lot of that already, that you've cut out those people.
Right.
I think you have to be secure in your relationships, which you have a beautiful family and everything around you. And you just, it's interesting because... Listen, I love Marge Sr., but I did grow up a little bit with a nutty mother, right? But I think when you are able to realize what's important in life, and I think you have that quality, you realize what's important in life, nothing else really matters. And you have a beautiful family, and you have a great husband, and I have great relationships that are important to me. Nothing else really matters.
Right.
It's only what matters in your life is the people you love,
Right.
and what's around you, and everything else really disappears.
Yeah.
Like really, what do I value in life? And I always try and think about that. And then when I'm like thinking, do these people around me really matter? Or
Right.
is this going to matter 5 minutes from now?
Yeah.
5 months from now, or 5 years from now?
Right.
And then I think about it then. And if it's not, I'm like, get away from it.
Right.
I don't care.
Moving on.
Next.
Throw them in
And I
pool.
think that's the way I try and tell people to think about it.
Yeah. And would you say that does confidence innate to you, or is it something learned?
I think
You're a confident woman.
I am a confident
In a
woman. And
very
it's not about being
admirable way.
the most beautiful girl in the room. I was never always the most beautiful girl in the room. As a little girl, listen, I grew up with a single mother. I had to, take care of myself a lot
Right.
of times, let myself in. So I knew no one else was going to,
Right.
come and take care of me.
Yeah.
A lot of times I knew, I was out on my own a little.
Yeah.
It was the 70s. Things were totally different.
Right,
I was
right.
letting myself in the house. I was 8 years old.
Right.
I didn't want to go to my grandparents. My mom was like, all right, here's the house key. Go let yourself in.
Right.
Things were very different.
Never
then.
would happen now. Yeah.
Yeah, that would not happen
Yeah.
now. I mean,
Someone would have the
child
cops called on-
services
yeah.
becoming.
I know.
Things were extremely different.
Right.
I always felt very capable
Mm-hmm.
that I could take care of myself, and I think that's really why I had a lot of confidence. Oh, I could do that.
Right.
I could do that. So I was always making sure that I was very capable, pushing myself out of my comfort zone, even if I was afraid.
Yeah.
Even to this day, I do things that I'm not so, that I'm afraid
Right.
of a little bit.
And it makes you more confident.
And it
once
makes
you
you
do
more
it.
confident. So I think everybody pushing themselves out of their comfort zone
Right.
is super important. I'm going to tell you this. My girlfriends,
me.
point blank, I won't drive in this city. I'm afraid to drive on the highway. I go berserk.
Why?
They're nuts. They don't push themselves out of their comfort zone.
Yeah.
I find that a very unattractive
Yeah.
quality.
Me
My one
too.
girlfriend said to me, I don't want to drive at night. I'm not doing this. I'm not comfortable. When did this happen? And she might want to leave her husband. I go, you're not fuckable. I said to her point blank, I said, this is not acceptable.
Right. You're the girlfriend everyone needs.
Yes,
to hear the
by
truth.
the way, I am. And I said,
Yeah.
people have to still, at any age, push themselves out of their comfort
Yeah.
zone. My mother is 78 years old. She drives in Manhattan. She wears high heels.
Yeah.
She goes to work every day. I think to gain confidence and have that inner confidence, you will continue to have to push yourself out of your comfort zone and face your fears.
Until you were 90.
Now I realize that's what it is. I think I just
love
nailed
that.
it. I think that's what it is. I
Say it again.
continue to gain inner confidence and feel good. You have to push yourself out of your comfort zone
I love that.
and face your fears. And
I'm
I
gonna
think
keep
that's
that.
what it is. And when you can do that continually your entire life, you will have confidence and security.
Yeah. And you keep surprising yourself.
And you keep surprising
Yeah.
yourself that, wow, I can do this. And then
Right.
you really feel like you can do anything. And I think that's really what it is. Thank you. You really made me
Thank
put
you.
it into words because
That's
I realized it.
incredible advice.
Yes, because you know what? Even when I was just in Marrakesh with Lexi, we both have a horrible fear of heights. And we both got in that hot
got
air
on the
balloon.
balloon.
We got in that hot air balloon and her legs
Wow.
were shaking and I was like a little bit scared,
How did you feel after?
like $1 million.
Like I could fucking do anything.
Yeah, like I could do anything.
Yeah. I love that.
Yes.
Keep
Except
pushing.
I could not take the antibiotics I bought in Mexico
Why?
because then I was afraid. Maybe I'm not going to do that.
Well, that could be a little risky.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that was incredible. I'm gonna remember that forever. I'm gonna make a sign of it and hang it in my office.
Yes.
So, you said you actually hang out with the girls off camera, like they are your friends.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Is there a lot of pressure from production to push certain narratives, or what goes on in that sense?
No, I feel like I love my production crew.
Yeah.
I adore them. No, but I think they push us to be honest
Yeah.
and to say the way we really feel.
Do some people have a hard time with that?
Yeah, all day long.
I mean, we
And I
see
get
it,
mad.
but
I call
yeah.
them weak sauce.
Weak sauce. Yeah.
I don't like weak sauce.
No.
I get very annoyed with weak sauce. I like people
yeah.
to say their honest opinions.
I feel, we're the same in the sense we spoke before, but I'm so direct and honest. I have a hard time when people aren't. It's like I'm allergic to it.
Yeah, me too. I don't like that. Like, don't
Yeah.
like blow smoke up my
No.
ass. Don't say one thing to me and then we get on camera and then you're like,
Yeah. Also, like when people are afraid to tell me something, like why?
Yes.
Like when people sugarcoat something, I can't see through the sugarcoating.
Yes.
I'm like, just say it. Hurt me
I
for
agree.
1 second.
I mean, listen,
Yeah.
my mother's done that to me. One time
Right.
my mother, she got the first time she had her teeth redone. I paid for it the first time she got her dental implants. She comes back. I go, those look like your shitty European teeth. I said, I'm not paying that. That's not a Mercedes in your mouth. I'm like, take those teeth back.
Oh my God.
No, I was dead serious. And I go, you like those teeth? Well, I was afraid to tell the dentist. Now, to me, she would say anything. And I go, this is years ago, by the way, way before I was on the show. She goes, I'm afraid to tell the dentist. She was so good to me. She was so nice. I go, Mom.
They're in your mouth.
I go, grow a pair. I go, I'm not paying for those teeth. I go, literally, take them back.
Yeah.
I go, I want them redone. Take them back. She calls up.
Oh, no.
She goes, Kellyanne. I don't even care. I'm going to say the dentist's name. Horrible. She goes, Kellyanne, Margaret said, I don't think the teeth are so bad. I was like, and she goes, but Margaret said, that's not a Mercedes in your mouth. I'm not going to pay for those. So I got to take them back. Okay. I was like, you're disgusting. I was so mad at her. I was like, grow a pair. So she blamed it all on me and like didn't have like the chutzpah to say to her. Like she was going to say it behind her back. She's but had no
and
balls.
made you the bad cop.
And made me the bad cop.
People do that. My dad does that to me with agents.
Really?
I'm the bad cop and he's the good cop.
I'm always the bad cop.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, Joe Benigno does it to me too.
Yeah. It's the easier way, but because I don't care.
Either do I.
Yeah.
All the contractors are afraid of me. My husband's a contractor. He's like, I'd never work for you. I was like, you did work for me and you married me. So, and you'll continue to work for me.
It worked out for you.
Yes, it worked out for you.
That's incredible. So after like filming a wild scene, right? Like the epic Last Supper, where it's just crazy, full on screaming match. Like when the cameras stop, like is it the room is standing still or is it emotionally like what is it like?
No, people are storming out. It's emotionally horrible. It's like a big letdown.
Yeah.
I'm talking to my friends, you know, people are
it just ruined.
Yeah, it's ruined. We're separated. The people you don't want to see is like they're, removing them from it's
like cameras don't go down. You're like, all right, No.
Mm-mm. It's like I'm never gonna see her again. She repulses me. Get her out of the room. Oh yeah, it's ugly.
I actually was rewatching.
You're still like fighting when the cameras go down.
That's what I'm saying. Do they want to like pick the cameras back up and be like, we should be getting this?
They're like, all right. No, it's like ugly.
They're like, stop.
Yeah. It's like
horrible.
Jackie Goldschneider was slinking out. You saw that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, the cameras really didn't go down after that.
No.
It's like we were like, yeah.
That was probably one of my favorite scenes when they said she pooped in her pants.
And when Dolores said that was so funny. Well, it was true. I mean, did you ever see that? It was horrible.
No.
Humiliating.
And even last season was that the most volatile season for you?
Well, I think the season my hair was pulled.
Yeah. Oh, well.
It was probably the worst season.
Right.
For me.
Yeah.
Last season, I felt the most vindicated.
Right. As you should.
I think it was the darkest to the fact is it was just so final. Like I could never talk to some people again. Yeah. And I felt so betrayed, but I felt very vindicated. I can't be more vindicated every day. I mean, it's like, I can't be more right in life on a regular basis.
I mean, everyone.
I mean, I haven't, say one time I've been wrong, that I've not been proven.
And it's come out.
Yes.
And they still want to question you.
Yeah. Just someone please say one time that I've been proven wrong.
Right. Do you ever get the verbal confirmation back, like from people like you? Oh,
I mean, it's all over the internet. Margaret's always,
But no one comes back to you and says it.
Mm-mm. I mean, my girls do.
You don't need it though.
I don't need it because I know.
You never did.
Just time will tell, and it always does.
It's funny, and I love Dolores. She's also one of my favorite characters, and I love her. I see her out a lot. Like
Dolores,
I run into her a lot.
No, she's a doll,
especially at the River Palm.
She's River Palm Queen.
Yeah. So, my like a scene that literally my jaw was like when you were called a lying cunt. Screamed. Yeah. Yes. How do you bounce back from that in 2 seconds?
That was like a 3 to 4 minute thing. I was a little taken back because she's like my good friend.
The rebound rate was pretty impressive.
Yes, because she's my good friend. I was like, what are you saying? What are you doing? I was so shocked at her. She had just come from that scene where they were trying to take me down at the house with that man who pretends to be an attorney who is places around from the meth clinic, and so she was very frazzled. I think Teresa had given her probably such a hard time.
Probably.
Saying, did you know about that? Which was so stupid. It literally was like a reunion recap. Yeah. Talking about like what's going to go on in the reunion.
What anyone would do.
What we do every year, by the way. It's usually in our hotel room the night before, but it's like we weren't all staying at a hotel the night before. It wasn't like a normal thing because it was in New Jersey. It was so crazy. And she was like saying, I go, no, I told you about it. And I think she probably said that she was not told us. So she had a fit.
Right. And didn't want. Yeah.
So
she's in a hard position.
She is. I think she just, I give her more of a pass than I give other people because she has a history with her for 30 years and she just doesn't want to fucking deal with it. I don't know if it's so much loyalty, she just doesn't want to deal with it.
That could be it.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people do, I feel.
She's just like, I don't feel like dealing with this.
I'd rather just...
Yeah. I think Dolores and I are grown-up friends and those are childhood friends.
Right, exactly. And sometimes you can't touch that. Watching back an episode, were there ever moments where you're like, oh, that's not how it really happened?
Oh, I like a little burp on there. Am I looking? I think they cut out stuff.
Yeah.
I think everything goes down the way it does, but
right.
I wish they would show more. The build up to it. I'm trying to think. Is there anything that that's not how it really happened? No. I think sometimes it's editing. They could show more.
Like to give a full background of a story.
Well, listen, when everyone says it's like, oh, I think you want the truth, they make Teresa look better than she does. That's my opinion.
I would assume that as a viewer.
And they give her grace. So if she ever complains, I don't care what they say.
Yeah. Is that because she's an
I
OG?
think and I don't think that's preferential treatment.
Right.
I'm saying is just like, they don't have enough. We don't have enough time to show everything.
Right.
We go over the edits, whatever else. I think I get annoyed more because I think they cut out all my happy stuff.
Right, which people want to see that.
Yeah, and I think
Honestly,
they probably think it's who wants to see the good stuff,
but
who wants to see the happiness.
Felt so heavy. Like I'm Housewives fan from day one of Bravo. But it was almost hard to watch at times. That's how heavy it was.
That's what I said. I said,
I
show some more. I was like, show some more of the happy stuff.
People do want to see that.
Yes, I agree.
The funniest thing I feel about Jersey, other than all the other franchises, it really is the craziest they're the most direct, ruthless women.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, listen, we just say it the way it is.
Yeah, everyone else around the world is a little more proper, or not even proper, just holding back, right?
They hold back more.
Hold back.
I mean, listen, I would love to just be a day on Beverly Hills. I would have ripped that Sutton to shreds. Do you watch Beverly Hills?
I cannot.
You know what? She was not good to Garcelle.
And
Garcelle
the money
was so good to her.
No, she used her.
Yes, I despise Sutton.
Yeah.
I'm putting that out there. I despise her.
Wow. I agree with March.
She is really just the way she spoke and
it was dirty.
Calling Dorit, Poirot, all stuff like that. I was like, you know what?
Also,
that is obnoxious. No one on Beverly Hills is poor.
How do people who actually don't have money feel? Yeah.
To use poor as an insult is disgusting.
No, it was disgusting.
And classless.
But she has a little, she kept
I can't stand her.
Yeah, it was really gross.
I just in general, I can't stand her.
I mean, that's
I could go down a list of the things.
That's
I could
the only
say about
thing
her.
she.
So if I was on that show,
you'd tear her to shreds.
Tear her to shreds.
She would not know what to say.
Yes.
About her wallet.
She could go home and cry into her little wallet, where money, can't buy her even,
That's
dick,
the only thing she has.
Seriously, if you can't even get a date and be someone's sugar mama, you're pathetic,
right?
With the amount of alimony you get every month.
Seriously,
if no one wants to date you and you're so wealthy, something's wrong with you.
Take off your cat sweater on your first date.
Yes, exactly. No, just everything.
Take the stick up out of your ass.
Yes, and get your eyes done because now I could really be mean.
Yeah.
Lose the puffs.
Totally agree. And we're being mean
and
because
I'm not,
she
no, I am
it.
being mean because she's so mean.
Yeah.
And she was so mean.
Justice for Dorit.
Yeah. Justice. And Garcelle.
Yeah. Yes, she did.
I don't like the way Garcelle was so devoted and such a good friend.
She was a good friend to her.
Such a good friend to her. But that's what happens to the people who are good friends. I was a good friend to Jackie Goldstein and look what she did to me.
Victim as well.
Yeah, professional victim. She's so upset I showed that screenshot of text messages.
You're
lucky that's all I did.
That was hilarious, by the way. That was savage.
Yes. And she acted like she cared about her relationship with Dolores. I mean, come on.
She just wanted to get back on the show or be relevant, maybe. Mm-hmm. That was some good tea. Yes. We spilled some good tea.
Yes.
Do you ever watch an episode and you're genuinely laughing at things that happen?
Yeah. That episode I laughed at. I got a big thrill out of that.
Right?
One. That was the best.
What's another moment that made you...
last season there was not as much to laugh about. I've laughed so many episodes, just everything. The husband, the pool one.
The husbands are incredible.
My
by the
husband
way.
one time was throwing up in a bush. I don't know if you guys remember that. That they call him that. I was actually irritated with him. I was like, Joe, I don't want the world to see this, but he was throwing up in a bush. A lot of the guys' scenes I would laugh at.
They are the only franchise that like they could have their own show, the husbands.
Yeah, the guys,
they generally love each other.
Relationships.
Yeah.
Yes, they're very close. Joe, Frank, and then John came on and said, they're funny.
Yeah.
But the Joes and the Franks of the world and the two Joes, they're just funny.
Their guys trips are hilarious. The golf outing.
Yes.
I think my favorite, a scene that I probably watched like admittedly too much is when you guys were on a trip and Joe Gorga walks in and he wipes out.
Oh my God, Melissa posted a lot too. We were at Danielle Staub's wedding.
Like I can't breathe at that. Oh
no,
my God.
we were at Danielle
that was
Staub's
at her wedding?
Yes.
Oh my God. I can't breathe at that
No,
scene.
that was very, very
like
funny.
He went down like a ton of fucking bricks.
Yeah, he did. That was very, very funny.
So hilarious.
I agree.
I had one more question and I forgot about the Housewives. What do you want to spill?
I think I've spilled it all. There was really nothing else to really spill about it.
Tell us something that people don't know about New Jersey.
What don't they know about New Jersey Housewives?
Because you guys put it all out there.
We put it all out there. I think there's really nothing anybody doesn't know.
Oh, dare I bring up Jen Aiden?
She went down hard.
Yeah.
I mean, listen. I mean, she's. I knew. I mean, I called that.
You called that.
She was right from the beginning.
You called that.
You know what? She was the cause of her own demise.
Yeah.
I tried to forewarn her.
Did you?
I always, as much as I couldn't stand her, she was good TV, and she knew that I thought she was good TV, and she couldn't stand me, and she thought I was good TV, and I tried to tell her, you're doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
But she just did, she went too far with certain things.
Yeah. In a gross way.
In a gross way, in a very bad way. And I love Danielle.
Yeah.
And Danielle and I really bonded, and I did try and save her from the beginning, but, people have to learn for themselves.
They do, unfortunately.
Exactly.
It's like I am always cautious to warn someone about someone because then it comes back to you.
It does.
And they do it anyway.
No, they do it anyway. And Danielle, her mother loved me from the beginning, which was kind of funny because she had read my book, Danielle's mother.
Okay.
And I like Danielle because you know what? Danielle's authentically who she really is.
Yeah.
She doesn't try to be something she's not. She doesn't try and change who she is.
No.
And I respect that.
And that's good TV.
And that's good TV.
Yeah.
And I respect exactly who she is. She wants to stay in her lane. She's funny. She's over the top. She's a stage mom. I mean, I get a big kick out of it.
Yeah.
And
it's very entertaining. I mean, it also is real. Like
there's
real. Many people like it puts the real in their housewives. Like
it does.
That's what you want to see.
They took advantage of her.
Yeah.
And I did not like that at all.
Right.
And I saw it was going to, but what I like about it is she saw it. She admitted to what happened. And I feel bad though. That was very, very hurtful.
Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. And you don't talk to Teresa.
I will never talk to her again.
No.
I will never, ever talk to her again.
No.
Ever.
You can't.
I was nothing but a good friend to her, and I was a good friend to her to tell her what was going to happen to her.
You were to the end, yeah.
And I predicted it. And I mean, call me psychic or just a genius and smart. You don't even have to be.
Genius all around.
No. You don't even have to be. And, she thinks that's being a bad friend. A good friend is telling somebody, keep your eyes open.
Right. And telling you what probably you don't feel like
what
hearing.
you don't want to hear.
Exactly.
I mean, I want people to be honest with me, but she was like, you're jealous of me, jealous of my... I mean,
jealous?
No one's jealous of you.
So speaking of, the impact and the good and the bad, what has Housewives changed for you the most? Like in your real life, not just career, but relationships, energy, peace of mind. What has it done for you?
I think Housewives... I think energy, nothing, but we won't talk about business platform and how great that is.
Yeah.
Those are great things.
Well,
and it's also, that's a given, right?
Yeah, not career, like other.
I think mental things, it's happened to make me, unfortunately, a little more guarded. Though I still want to be so open to people. I've seen some ugly things, which is a little sad.
Yeah.
But it's also introduced me to some amazing people. Mm-hmm. Like I'll say, fans of the show, and seeing that something like this is also a study in psychology.
Yeah.
That you can make a difference.
Yeah.
So I've gotten to meet great people that I can make a difference in people's lives, and that this is still relatable to people who are sad.
Right.
And don't feel comfortable talking about their issues. And, so that's the good part.
It is.
Yes.
A lot of women relate on many levels.
Yeah, there's so many things. Like,
and it's always like the smaller storylines that are so relatable. Right?
Yes. Even like that my ex-husband died, and people don't realize that, even though we were divorced, we had a beautiful relationship, and that, you know, how devastating that is
a loss.
to lose the
Yeah,
father of your
oh my
children.
God.
I mean, we were married for 20 years, and how people are like, could relate to that. You know, just so many layers.
A lot of people reached out.
Oh, so many people reached out.
That helped so many women.
Yeah, it helped so many women because people were like, people couldn't understand why women who were divorced are upset when their ex-spouse died. Well, yeah, that's someone you shared a life with, and, you know, memories, and you had your kids with, and everyone else.
And you know what I love too, speaking of relating?
My stomach making all these funny noises.
It's the coffee. Maybe we're hungry.
Yes.
Speaking, like, I love how open you are about, I saw your post yesterday on GLP-1, blah, blah, whatever. Why the stigma of people being so secretive about it? Like, it's helping people feel better about themselves.
Yes.
I had my doctor on yesterday, actually, on weight management. I'm obsessed with her. Dr. Sherry Sakowitz. She's in Paramus. And we spoke all about it. And she's like, you know, wants to totally just kill the stigma of like like,
I agree.
Why aren't people more open about how like the positive of it changed their life?
I think women have been shamed for years.
Right.
To feel like they should suffer to look good, that they should do it the natural way. I don't even know what that means.
Like it's an easy route. It's an easy way out. It's
not.
It's
not an easy way out.
No, it's not.
I think that women have been made to feel guilty about anything that they do for themselves. And it's disgusting. I mean, Viagra, there was Viagra commercials on television
but we don't
all
talk
the time.
about that, right?
People don't talk about it. And there was no stigma with that. But a GLP-1, a woman taking care of her health.
Yeah.
And getting ahead of it is an issue. So
and wanting to feel and look good.
Feel good. You know, women have lied about their plastic surgery for years. Women have lied about their hair extensions for years.
I know.
Women, you know, want secret gatekeeping, everything. I was like, I'm not doing that because that's not fair. People would say to me, Marge, how'd you do this? Well, clearly I'm not going to the gym every day. I fucking hate to work out constantly. I want to be healthy. Like I walk, I'm active, I do certain things, but am I working out like a maniac? No, but the truth is I did have a hard time losing weight after menopause. I was thin all my life prior to being even on the show and going into menopause. And then after a certain age, I couldn't. I was like, and I'm not going to have any shame in my game if this could help someone else. I am on a GLP-1. I've been doing it for 3 years. I've kept the weight off. So I think that's what it is. Women are made to have shame and guilt and all of these things. And I'm not going to do it.
No, I can't be victim to it. I think a lot of people might think too that it falls under like vanity when it's not.
And what's wrong with being vain?
Also, why don't you want to look good?
What is wrong with wanting to be your best self? I also think it's a social responsibility. Nothing makes me more crazy. I remember one time someone didn't, and health insurance should really cover teeth. I know people have dental insurance, but it's only 15. It only covers like 1,500
teeth. That's
teeth.
one of my top things.
It only covers $1,500 a year.
Crazy.
I can't stand it. If someone doesn't maintain their dental health, it's not money to maintain your dental health to brush and floss since you're a little kid. I go absolutely berserk.
Right.
I'm not saying everyone should have veneers like me. You know what I'm saying? I'm on a TV show. People, I get it. But maintaining your dental health, and we should really push that and everything else. But I would say it's a social responsibility to have teeth.
It is. And
we should make sure people take care of their
nice
teeth.
Yeah. Like I know people
Be
who
healthy. It's a responsibility to take care of yourself for yourself and your family.
People think that's vanity. That's gums, everything. That is your
first of all,
the
first thing, heart disease comes from the gums. A big portion of heart disease comes from the gums. And I tell my husband that all the time because he doesn't like to floss. I'm going to say it right now. It annoys me about Joe Benigno.
Send him to the dentist.
Not a big flosser, though. He is pretty healthy. He has much healthier teeth than I do. Not as many cavities.
Right.
But that's gross.
Well, cavities are genetic.
Yeah, cavities are genetic.
Yeah. I've had so many, and I brush 3 times a day and floss.
Me too. I floss after every meal.
It's crazy. But honestly, I know people who own beautiful homes, have 3 cars, and I'm like, why do you have brown or dead or bad teeth? Go fix your health.
I know people have fear of the dentist. People have fear of the dentist. I don't understand it.
Anyway, back to vanity.
Yes, back to vanity.
Anyway, we like good teeth, so mark that. I've been called fat my whole life. Oh my God, I was talking about this on my podcast yesterday, and honestly bullied about it from middle school. You have a
beautiful figure.
Middle school, I like my curve. I always said I don't get it. I think I look good, but from middle school to a 35-year-old woman, I'm still being bullied about my body, right? And so then you go and do something about it, and then you're bullied about wanting to be on, right?
people love to bully women.
Yeah.
People feel like they could comment on our looks all the time. Same thing happened to me. Listen, I was thin my whole life. Then I started getting older, got into menopause. I got very voluptuous. I mean, now I look at pictures of myself. I was like, how do I even let myself go on TV? My boobs were always huge. I got a breast reduction and a lift because I couldn't take it because they weighed me down. And my nipples were like cheeseburgers. No, I couldn't take it. My husband was very upset I did it. But, you know, for my health, I wanted to lose some weight. It was a lot to carry. And everything else. And they were like, they'd always tell me how chubby I was on the show. And then I lost weight. And then I was like, Margaret, you're a bobblehead. You're this. You can't make you have to be happy within yourself. But you're beautiful. You're a beautiful young woman and everything else. I got, it wasn't healthy for me to feel like I didn't feel good in myself. I did it for myself. Yeah. And I'm very comfortable, happy in my weight now. Yeah. I mean, Joe's not as happy. He likes me with more meat, but that's fine.
Men love curves.
Yes.
No, I'm very into anything you want to do self-care. I promote to like feeling good about yourself.
Me too. I'm the same way.
It's I had someone DM me recently saying deflate your sausage lips. I'm like, it's on my face. Why do you care?
Yes, people are so crazy.
Right. And I didn't go like to an extreme of like looking like, okay, she needs to stop. So it's just,
no, I'm
how do you deal with the haters that do that? Like the people that are
I actually crack jokes back. Okay. I think it's kind of funny.
I like that.
People write the craziest things to me.
That's good advice.
And I just make a joke out of it. I think it's kind of funny.
Like, give me an example. How
can I oh my God. People, like if they said deflate your sausage lips, you should say, I love sausage. Who doesn't love sausage? Show me someone who doesn't love a good sausage. I would say something like that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I'm going to do that. I'll text you when I need some ammo.
Yeah, people love sausage.
Yeah.
I would write something like that. Right. People say that to me all the time.
Yeah.
Marge, you look like a bobblehead. Well, I love a good I always wanted to be a bobblehead.
You should make bobbleheads.
You know what I'm saying? I always wanted to be a bobblehead.
New merch.
So thank you.
Yeah.
I say stuff like that all the time. People say the most hostile things to me.
Honestly.
Yeah, and I think I just actually find it entertaining.
And they're hiding behind their phone.
I mean, yes, exactly. And then I did say something, Vera, there's a woman named Vera, and then everyone got mad at me. She's shaming a fan. I'm shaming a fan. Vera has trolled me, called me ugly, hideous, a whore, every possible thing. So I said Vera looks like SpongeBob SquarePants with a sunburn, and everybody got mad at me.
The one thing you say,
the one thing, Vera has literally ripped me to shreds for years, and I fight back and say this about Vera.
She's SpongeBob, which is nice.
Nice Vera as you can be. Like, I mean, if you saw what Vera has been saying to us, I was like, cut me a break in public forums on a regular basis.
Bullying, harassment.
I'm allowed to say one thing bad about Vera.
And
I don't give
funny.
two shits.
Okay, I'm going to be like you with that.
Yes.
I'm going to comment back.
Yes.
Would you say that, okay, I asked you that already. Have you ever been to a point where you were just done and you actually considered walking away?
Oh, yeah. When my hair was pulled.
That was
I didn't even want to go back to work.
Well, she's an animal.
Well, I mean, you saw it happen. She was, she was not asked back, and I knew that was going to happen. So I was like, all right, I'll stay.
Yeah. You really call it.
I know. I mean, listen, soggy flicker. I called that one.
Oh my God. You made that name. Mm-hmm. That was incredible.
Yeah, that was easy.
You really are like a marketing genius.
Thank you.
Branding. How do you protect your energy when living so publicly? I guess you say you just make jokes back, but
I make sure. Listen,
does it ever get to you?
Oh yeah. Sometimes I'm tired. I get tired, but then I just without makeup, stay with my family. That's why my family's very private. We don't talk Housewives. I am forbidden from talking Housewives when I'm around my children.
I don't want to talk about it. Yeah,
we don't talk about it. We're not allowed.
That's a good rule.
No phones. We don't discuss it.
Yeah.
And that's it. And we have a good time, and we go out or we eat at home. We watch Netflix. We do
our normal
discussing
thing.
That kind of work.
Yeah.
Regular life.
That's healthy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's healthy.
It's a boundary.
We disconnect. We have very good boundaries.
That's good. Do you think that you've become more yourself, or feel that you've had to become like a certain version of yourself? Like, did you come more into your authenticity from the show?
I think I'm my more opinionated self. My mother says I have a lot less patience. I probably do have a lot less patience. I mean, Joe will say, "Calm down,
because you deal with a lot of bullshit."
Yeah, I deal with a lot of bullshit. I think I think I'm more myself, but I'm quicker to snap.
Okay,
I am. Like, even like I'm quicker to react.
Yeah, but I feel like you have a good rebound rate to come back.
Yeah. I don't put up with like craziness. No. Like, I felt a little guilty. One of my best friends, this is actually about dental, one of my best friends in the whole world, my childhood friend, she got her facelift with my doctor. Then she was having an issue with her dentist. I go to my dentist. You have to go to my dentist. Why wouldn't you ask me for a dentist? Then I felt, and I was like, why am I being so pushy?
Right.
And I knew then I had to dial it back.
I kind of am like that though. I don't know if it's like the salesy in me or
yeah, because I was like, why will you ask me to go to my dentist? What are you, crazy? Why would you go to, you don't know what dentist, because she was like suffering of what dentist to go to and fumfering. And and then I got like, and I was like,
and
you
you're
don't
like,
have to be so involved. And I wrote her, I go, I'm so sorry. I should never do that to you. I have to reel it in.
But I think that's also the part of you that like wants to help or just fix things, make things better.
Yes,
you don't
I
mean
want to
it in
make
a
things
pushy
better.
way.
No, I didn't. She was like, I love your opinion. That's what,
I come off like that to my friends. It's because it's when I love people.
Me too. I love people and I want them to have everything great. And I feel like I, research.
Like when back in the like dating, like if I saw one of my friends with the wrong person, like I would have to. Yeah, I'm not the kind of girl who could sit back and like watch it.
Me either.
Yeah,
like my husband doesn't always speak up. He's like, it's not my business. I'm
yeah.
Like, I go, what?
Yeah,
but I have to learn that a little better.
Me too. I could probably reel it back a little bit.
Yes.
I probably won't change though, to be honest.
That's the way I feel.
So before we move on from Housewives, the last scene, which we did touch on, the infamous Rails Steakhouse. Are you triggered by that place?
No.
Good.
No, I'm not triggered by Rails. The
That's
food's good. I don't go there that often. It's so far from here.
I know. I went recently for a baby shower. Great food.
Great food.
Yeah.
I'm not that triggered.
Good. Looking back, would you have said something different or did you feel good walking away?
Oh, I felt good walking away.
Yeah.
I said it all. I put it right on the table.
What's next?
Just hustling for Soirée.
Yeah.
Doing, working, doing interesting things, lots of travel.
Can we talk about that?
Yes.
Let's talk about your women's traveling trip.
Yes, we did. Lexi and I put together like a women's empowerment trip. 18 women, 2 glamour gays. You always need your glamour gays.
Yeah, you do.
Women from all different backgrounds, every age. We had
the gals
women,
and the gays, we call it.
The gals and the gays. We had, a 26-year-old all the way up to 65-year-olds. Everybody was just living their best life. Mm-hmm. We all went to Marrakesh. We wanted to travel out of the box and just do fun things. Right. Again, pushing out of the comfort zone. And everybody was confident, secure. Everyone bonded. It was magnificent. And, I think that's important to me because I love to travel. Yeah. I love to be with women, regardless of what people say. She's not a girl's girl. I'm such a girl's girl.
You really are.
All I love to do is
You're the girliest girl.
Yes, and I love to be with women. And we just had the best trip ever.
Yeah.
And it was really special. And it was very, very important to me.
What was your takeaway? Like, how did you feel leaving that trip?
Crying.
Oh,
we were all crying. We've already been together.
Love that.
We just went the end of February, beginning of March, and we've been together numerous times since. My friend from Italy, one of a handbag designer, has flown in. We've all gotten together. We've had dinner together. Another woman is a DJ in the city at the Empire Hotel, so we've gone there dancing.
So fun.
And everybody's a different background.
Yeah.
One woman's modern Orthodox Jewish. I have my friends where I call them the Catholic Olympics.
I love that.
The other girls are like this mother-daughter duo. We have the Angelas. We have the glamour gays. And
It's
everybody's
perfect.
so different, but has such a common thread.
You're really good at connecting and bringing people together.
Yes. And, everybody's just so bonded and so deep and interesting and interested. And, everybody networks and connects. And, we're all on a group chat. And it's fantastic. And we're planning another trip. I think we're going to go to India if we could pull it together.
And why
India?
India?
If not India, then I'm thinking where else we could go. Maybe Buenos Aires. I don't know.
Ooh, that's on my list for next.
Yes.
Buenos Aires. And I'm going to try and get a ticket to
will,
that trip.
you will fit in perfectly.
I love it. I love women empowerment, anything.
Yes.
That's what this whole podcast is about.
Yes, it's important.
Yeah. Is there a new season?
I don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know.
I don't
really
know.
don't know. We don't know. No one knows.
No one knows. No, when will you know?
I don't think till the beginning of 2026.
Wow.
I mean, they've been casting. They've been looking for women.
Oh, they're recasting.
I don't think they're recasting.
Okay.
I think they're partially recasting. But, things change on the daily when it
Right.
comes to Bravo. I know there's a lot of new shows coming out. I think Jersey was so ugly at the end.
Right.
I think, TBD.
TBD. Do you think that they would ever do what they did to New York? 'Cause
No.
That was devastating.
I don't think it will.
Yeah. And
I don't. The only reason I don't think it will is because it's not, it's doing well, but not, I think people are nostalgic for the other ladies.
yeah, I think everyone's more sad that the OGs aren't there because they're still here. It's not like they went anywhere.
It's true. It's true.
Okay, if Bravo did an Ultimate Girls Trip Chaos Edition and you had to be trapped in a villa with 3 housewives, who are you choosing? and who's not getting invited? I think we know that question, but
Well, I mean, I don't even want to go with anybody for my show because I've been with them enough.
Yeah,
You know
right?
What I'm saying? I
So
love them, but I'm just
we're
saying,
onto our new
I would
women
like to
empowerment.
be. I mean, believe it or not, I want to go with Lisa Rinna. I love Lisa Rinna.
Oh my God, she was fun.
I love her. I think, people have villainized her, but she's magnificent.
Yeah.
And smart and calls it out. And everyone's like, she was me. No, she's not. You know what? She's great TV.
Well, she's another direct person.
Yeah.
People don't like the truth.
People don't like the truth. And
Yeah.
they're fucked up.
Yeah. And then when you say the truth, they'll say,
yeah. So
you're the
maybe
bad
I
one.
like people who are just overly direct.
Yeah. Nothing
I
wrong
would
with
do
that.
me, Lisa Rinna. I would probably do Phaedra. She's hilarious.
Oh my God,
I'm
she's so
close
funny.
with Phaedra.
I loved watching Traders. How was that?
Yeah, that was, you know what? I don't, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I would do me, Lisa Rinna, Phaedra. Who else would I even do at this point? Maybe like, I'm close with Tamara. Even though she's done already. She's done. I'd have to take someone from Salt Lake City. I might have to take Mary Cosby just for the fun of it.
Oh my God.
She would throw such a wrench into it. It would be amazing.
She's hysterical. What's the one thing that you think people totally misunderstand about you?
What is the one thing that I think people misunderstand about me? Originally they didn't realize that I don't drink.
Right.
And I think they think that I'm a shitty, they don't know anything about me being a mother and a family person.
Right.
Because I don't show it.
Which I think was very smart.
I
not
think,
expose
certain
that.
things I just have to keep private.
You have
to
to.
protect my peace and my sanity.
Like you can't touch that.
Yeah, and they're like, well, this is the reality show. You've showed all. No, I don't have to show it all.
Yeah.
Do you say that to Nicole Kidman? Do you say that to everybody else?
No.
I'm not an actress. I'm not saying that, but
You
I'm
still
on
have a
reality
life.
series.
It's your personal life.
I have a personal life, and I chose this life. My children did not. They're much older. They're not
Right.
living in the house. They don't have to be seen.
Right. I think that would be my one thing that would prevent me or be scary to do is showing my family. Like,
I don't,
because it's so sacred to me.
It is. That's what it is. My children, my life is so sacred to me. I would never want to, hurt my children.
Right. Okay. I have like 3 rapid fire questions before we're ending this.
Okay.
Pizza or bagels? Or is it better? Pizza and bagels. Is it better in New York or New Jersey?
Ooh. I think, bagels might be better in New York. Pizza is better in New Jersey.
Yeah, they don't know that. They think New York's better for pizza.
I think pizza is very good in New Jersey.
Night out in the city or night out in Jersey?
Oh God, don't be mad at me. New York.
New York.
New York.
Right?
Yeah.
Still.
I'm a big New York girl because
Yeah.
we're so close to the city.
What's your favorite spot?
Oh my God. I go to so many different places. I could go fancy or I could go down and dirty.
Me too.
That's the difference. I'm just like, oh my God, New York. It's like, I go everywhere. I mean, Joe's favorite restaurant still, he's so old school, is Cipriani, the original on
I love it.
50
I
Cent.
love it too.
The one in the
the one
50
uptown.
Oh, the one uptown,
Yeah.
not downtown, because that's very,
Yeah.
but
All
still
the
European and
Russian
whatever.
oligarchs.
Yes,
sitting
Russian
outside
oligarchs.
with the
No, he's
yeah.
like the old school
Yeah.
uptown. That's Joe's favorite restaurant.
Right.
So we'll eat at Cipriani. Campagnola. We'll go to Campagnola
Okay.
still.
Fuck, marry, kill. Cipriani's, Emilio Bellatos, or pastis.
Okay. You're not going to believe me. I will marry Cipriani. I'll fuck Pesties and kill
Emilio's.
Emilio's.
Wow.
You know why? It's like Pesties is where I first went out with Joe.
Oh, so you have to keep it.
I have to fuck
you have
it.
to fuck it.
Yeah, and I have
And
to
you have to marry 'cause it's his
Cipriani's.
favorite.
That's his favorite.
So nothing
And
against
it's
Emilio's.
nothing
It just didn't make
Emilio's,
the
it just
cut.
didn't make the cut. I'm so sorry. They're all great.
Yeah.
They're all great.
Yeah.
Well, listen, did you ever eat at supper downtown on the
No,
Lower
I
East Side?
haven't.
That's like one of my down and dirty.
Really?
It's fantastic.
Okay, I have to go.
Little Frankie's.
Yeah. I used to live by Little
Okay, so Little Frankie's, but like, do you like Little Frankie's?
Yeah.
Okay, so supper,
Yeah.
know, it's like a down dirty little
Yeah,
pasta place. But
exactly.
supper,
It's good.
spaghetti limone. That was like
Oh,
the
in the
original.
East Village.
Yeah.
Okay, I know it. My parents
It's
like
like-
that place. I've never been.
It's like old. I don't know. It's so I haven't been there in a while. I
love
it.
that.
But there's so many places. Like, listen, Easter. What's this coming out after Easter? We're going to Carmelini. Do you know it in the Fifth Avenue Hotel?
No.
It's like
The new-
I like all different places.
Right.
I like fancy. I like down and dirty. I
Right.
like everything.
Me
I like
too.
to be in the city.
What's your favorite Chinese spot in the city?
Oh, it's not Mr. Chow.
No.
It's not Philippe Uptown. I'll tell you
No.
that much.
No.
I don't know. I used to like Shumley Palace. I haven't been there I haven't had Chinese.
Did you ever
in the
do
city like that.
Wohop?
No, where is that?
Oh my God. It is down and dirty. It is
Okay, so
literally-
tell me. I have to go.
You go down a flight of, like my parents used to go there after like being out in the city.
Okay, so I have to go.
Yeah, and my husband
Chinese.
lived. Oh my God, it's like literally you walk down a flight of stairs.
I like
into,
old
like, a
school
basement.
Chinese. Is
Yeah.
like old school Chinese?
Yes, and it's like you're in and out. Like the food's. It's
I love that. Because
really
I
good.
still eat Good Taste from Tenafly is my favorite. And it's
Oh
takeout
my
only.
God,
Good Taste,
yeah.
Tenafly
All right,
Chinese, the best.
Go to Wohop.
Okay,
yeah,
I'm going.
it's a down and dirty in Chinatown. It's amazing.
I love it. You know what's upsetting me about New York a little bit
Tell me.
lately? Is not staying open late enough.
Yeah, why?
You cannot get a late night meal the way you used to.
No, it's not. The
And
same
I don't
in
care what
general.
anyone says.
It's not the same in general.
No, and that's the upsetting part because I love a late night.
You know, there used to be this one when I was living in Tribeca. I would like Sundays. I'd be probably hungover from going out all weekend, and my go-to order spot on Sundays was China Chalet, and I would just order from there. I didn't know anything about it. Then when I started going out with my gays, they're like, all right, there's this party one night. It's Brittany versus Christina. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, well, it's really a front. It's a Chinese restaurant front for a gay club. It's China Chalet.
Oh my God, that's so
My
funny.
cousin's like, you would fucking be ordering from
You're
the
ordering
front. Yeah.
actually a front.
You literally go in the back. It's like an old school, the white tablecloths, red, like, you know, everything. And you eat your Chinese, but then you go to the back and there's like a disco ball on stage.
And you didn't know?
No. And that's where I would order it from on
That is
Sundays.
so funny.
And then I started going there and it shut down in COVID. It was so
Oh,
sad.
that's so
but it was
sad.
such
That's so sad. You
would
know,
have
in
loved
Tribeca, I
it.
still eat Odeon all the time.
Oh, I love Odeon.
I'm still old school Odeon.
I would get the Caesar salad with a side of salmon and sometimes tomato soup.
I know. It's
The best.
so
And a
good.
good martini.
It is so good.
Yeah, the best. What was the one next to it? Tiny something. It was like literally right next to it, and it was like a tiny little house, and there was an upstairs.
I don't know.
I used to go on like,
But I'm
first
like,
dates
I'm
there.
a big time Odeon person.
Yeah, that's a good spot.
I still go there all the
It's
time.
you know why? It's consistent.
It is consistent. I feel like I go there. They know me when I go there. They
Yeah.
know Marge likes to go there. It's good.
What do you like around here?
I mean, listen, I feel like I eat here all the time. It's a Grissini. It's a Demora. All the Italian.
Demora's
Grissini,
right.
Demora.
Varka.
I don't really go to Varka.
Wait,
Is
where-
that? But Varka is good, but I don't really drive
I
there.
don't mean Varka. What is the one in Tenafly?
Axia.
Axia.
I go to Axia.
Yeah.
I like a Verana. Do you like a Verana?
Where is that?
In Norwood.
I go. Oh yeah.
I like a
Oh,
Verana.
he's one of our clients. My dad loves him.
Yes.
They just opened Mikos.
I think I'm going there tonight.
Have you
God
been?
willing. I DM them and I was like, Marge wants to come in, and it was very booked.
have my dad
Tommy.
call
I know.
Tommy.
I didn't have his phone. You know,
My
I
dad
have
will
his.
call.
I don't have his phone number
We'll
on my
call
phone.
him after this.
We're gonna have to call him. I DM'd and I said, Tom, I don't have Tommy's phone number. I have to come in
I
tonight.
think it just opened, and my mom's been there probably 50 times already.
I want to
She
go
goes every
tonight.
night. Yeah.
Grissini. I eat lunch at Sophia. I feel
Yeah.
like I'm eating all Italian, which is not River Palm. Clearly,
I'm always there. The
You know,
kid that I have a standing
Lefties.
reservation.
I'll go
Yeah.
to Lefties, but I like to do it more at lunch. It's very crazy at night for me.
Yeah,
I don't like too loud. Joe
Me
can't
either.
hear.
Me either. I don't like loud. I'm like an old soul.
I love it. Me
a
too.
5 o'clock dinner.
Okay, you are hilarious.
Yeah.
I call that a late lunch.
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
I could do the 3 o'clock martini and my steak and
I know.
salad. At
I
River
love
Palm.
it that you're like a little vintage glamour girl. That's
Yeah.
why I love
Oh,
you
I
because
like
you are
that.
like a vintage glamour
Thank
girl.
you. That's my new brand.
Yes, that's what you are.
You're a branding genius.
Yeah, you are a vintage
All
glamour
right, I
girl.
could keep going, but I think we're supposed
Yes,
to be
I know
ending.
we're way over.
Yeah, but I love you.
I love you.
You're coming
Thank
back.
you for having me. I'll
coming
be back.
over. I'm coming on
You're
your
coming
girl
to my
trips.
house.
Yeah. Me, you, Blaine, and Lexi are hanging out.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. I love you. Thank
Love
you
you.
so much for being here.
Oh, thanks for having me. This was the best.
And we'll be back.
We'll be back. with TBD.
Wait, give them your last piece of advice.
Oh, my last piece of advice?
Yeah.
Oh my God, what would that be?
Your ending tagline.
My ending tagline. Spend your last dollar on a lipstick because you never know what's going to happen tomorrow.
There we go.